What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jason Morrison. If you guys are new here, which I know there is a lot of new faces on the channel, I appreciate it, guys. I really do. Appreciate all the support. But getting right into it, these are just a few things, 7 things or so that I think you guys should really know if you're doing, videography or filmmaking. And one of the avenues, or one of the genres that you're in, is real estate, because I definitely learned this just going into it and shooting my first few real estate jobs just a few weeks ago in mid-April and also in early March. And I just figured I'd share my experience and my knowledge so far with you guys. That way, when you guys go out and you want to shoot some real estate, you guys are, more equipped and better prepared than I was. But getting right into it, the first thing I think beginner filmmakers or anyone new into shooting real estate should know is prep your gear prior to going out to shoot, guys. Whether it's the night before, the day that you're gonna go out to shoot, whether it's an hour before, 2 hours before, the earlier the better, as long as you know your gear is set, you got extra batteries. You know what I mean? One thing I realized on the day that I was going to shoot was I only had 1 battery. Luckily, I made it through the whole shoot with no problems, but I was a little scared that my camera was gonna die, or I wouldn't have enough time to film, or whatever it is. You don't want any of that anxiety, especially if it's a new client, it's a new relationship. That's not what you want to go. You don't want to go in with that anxiety already ready to go, because that's going to make you more prone to messing up. You know what I mean? So make sure you got that. Balance your gimbal, balance your glide cam, make sure your settings are dialed in for the most part. Just make sure all of that stuff is ready to go before you even get on the job. I promise you guys, it's going to make your life a hell of a lot easier. It's going to make your client happy, because you're already, you get right there, you're ready to go, you're banging all that out. You're not sitting there for like 20 minutes, 10 minutes setting your settings in, and the real estate agent or your client or whatever is sitting there watching you, trying to figure out what the hell you're doing when you really should be shooting. So definitely make sure that your gear, your settings, and all that stuff is done prior to going out to shoot. Another thing that I think is really important when you're shooting real estate in any, really any genre of filmmaking, is letting your client know what it is that you're going to be doing. You're the filmmaker, you're the videographer, you're in control. Make sure that you take control and you let them know what you're doing. They're going to ask questions, don't get me wrong, but they're going to be kind of wondering what you're doing. Some of them might be thinking that you're doing something weird or wrong or whatever it is. Kill any of that wonder or whatever it is, and let your client know exactly what it is that you're doing, how you're doing it. And just take control. You're the videographer, you're the professional, you know what I'm saying? And I find that just makes it so much easier to do. So a really quick tip, that one's a small one, but at the same time, it pays big dividends when your client kind of knows that you know what you're doing, and you kind of put off that persona, that energy that you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? They're gonna have more confidence that you're gonna do a good job. Number 3, or just another thing that I find really important that I've kind of ran into, that I figured I'd put down for you guys to know as well. Make sure your client, the real estate agent, whatever it is, make sure that they understand your pricing. You know what I mean? Make sure that they understand what, what goes into your pricing. The average person doesn't understand what we do. You know what I mean? So they go into it, they just think you're gonna show up there, you're gonna film, you're gone. When really, you have your editing time. You know what I mean? Editing time plays a factor in how much you're getting paid. Your travel time plays factor into what you're getting paid. You know what I mean? Your gear. Just small things that they seem small, but they're pretty big, and they do play a big factor into what you're doing. If they want additional services, if you've maybe agreed on just doing videos, but now they want pictures, or if they want you to go back and re-edit a video, or if the video is going to be a lot longer, or you're going to be shooting for longer than you thought. I just feel like these things are important things to play into your pricing, and you want to communicate that with your client. Communication is key. And just let them know where your pricing is coming from and why it is that they would be paying more or less or whatever it is based on what you're doing. I think that's pretty important to include. Now, number 4 are just one that I'm literally the biggest culprit of this, and that's exactly why I knew I had to put this on the list. Bro, start the edit. Guys, I promise you, start the edit as soon as you can. As soon as you're able to edit, I was gonna say mentally ready, but honestly, sometimes that's just an excuse for us to push it back a long time. But as soon as you're ready, as soon as you get back home or you have free time, start that edit, start the video, start editing those pictures, whatever it is, start it, dude. Because what I've realized is what I would do is, say my client says, you have a week to get it back or whatever it is, I'm gonna push it back to the last minute. And that's not what you want to do. I mean, I came out with a quality product, but I found that, I would be pushing it back. I was like, oh, I got time, I'm procrastinating, I'm doing whatever it is. then you don't want to do it anymore. You know what I mean? It's been a few days, it's been a week, your mind is not in it. The job was last week, you already moved on. So now you're forced to bang this job out, and you're probably not gonna do as good of a job as you could have done if you just did it that day when you're fresh out of the shoot. I'm not saying it's not gonna be a good job, but I'm saying it's just gonna be so much easier if you just bang that job out as soon as you get back from whatever listing or shoot that you're doing. It's gonna save you time, and you know, say you get that video back to your client, to your real estate agent, to whatever it is, they're gonna be really impressed with the fast turnaround time. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want a good turnaround time with a quality product? They're gonna see that. They're gonna, you know, that just opens up other doors for them to recommend you to other real estate agents, have, you know, word of mouth, get you other jobs, even if it's not real estate or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Just bang it out, do your best, and finish it as quickly as you can, as soon as you have the time. I think that's really important. That's something that I've been running into and that I want to change. Number 5, and this is probably the most obvious one, but you know, make sure this is your highest quality work, not just for the client. Obviously you want it to be for your client, you know what I mean? That way they're recommending you to other people. That way, you know, they're just happy. There's no re-edits or whatever it is. They're happy with what you're giving them. But also just because this is your work, you know what I mean? Your name is going on it. You're, you know, going to put this in your portfolio or whatever it is. Like, just go in. You know, it might not be your favorite job, it might not be what you really want to be doing at that moment, but if you just bang it out with your highest quality of work, it's going to pay dividends in the end. You know what I mean? So a quick one, but one that's super obvious, but just make sure you're always putting your best foot forward. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's experience. You're building your portfolio. People might really enjoy it and recommend you to other people, and then that's what it is, man. It's going to pay dividends no matter what. Now, this one is huge. Number 6 is a very, very, very big one. And this is to overshoot. No matter what, just overshoot. I promise you, overshoot no matter what. I've found, and this actually wasn't a big problem on my real estate jobs, but I've ran into this problem on other shoots or just like personal projects, where you think that you filmed enough, but you just haven't. You get back to the editing room and you don't have nearly enough clips, or you just can't do what you want to do because you didn't film enough. There's no such thing as overshooting. Just shoot as much as you want. Keep doing a take over and over and over again until you get it right. And I know your client, you know, you might be taking a little bit long. On my first real estate job, I ran into this where my client was kind of wondering why I was taking so long, and I was just, you know, communicating like, hey, you know, I just want to make sure this is perfect. I'm trying to get these shoots as best as I can, but you know, don't be afraid to do that. Just like wait and really try your best to make sure that each take is exactly what you want, and make sure you have enough, because you don't want to get back and start editing and realize you missed a room, or that take was terrible, it's shaky, the exposure is wrong. You know, so many things could go wrong. So just make sure you get what you need, and make sure you shoot as much as you can. That way you always have a plethora of clips that you can use, and you're not, you know, scrambling for just some sort of edit that you can throw together when you get back to the editing room. You don't want to be in that position, trust me. And the last one, which is what I should have done, which is why I put it on this list, establish the way that payment is going to be made. My first real estate job, it was for someone I knew, so it was through cash. Actually, both were someone I knew. But you know, the first one was through cash, so I already knew how payments were going to be made. I knew how the transaction process was going to go. But the second one was with someone I knew as well, but he wanted it through check and wanted an invoice. And this is standard practice, don't get me wrong, but I didn't realize that that's how it was going to go at the time. So just to make things more smooth and less awkward, less rigid, make the transactional process so much easier, just make sure that you make it very clear from the start how you want your payments to be made. Make sure the client understands how they need to be making payment. You know, say you want to have them pay half the price before the shoot, and then the rest once you're done. Just make sure that's all voiced out, and make sure that's ready to go, because that's going to save you a lot of headaches, could save you some clients. And at the end of the day, it's just smart business. You know what I mean? When both parties know exactly what's going on, it's smart business. So anyways, guys, I think those are really all the tips, all the things I've learned shooting real estate videos so far. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I've just started, you know, going out and shooting for clients in terms of real estate, and I have a long way to go. But I figured, since we're all, not all of us, but since I'm a new filmmaker and videographer, a lot of you guys are probably in the same boat. I'd share my knowledge and my experience that I've kind of acquired over that time. So drop a like on this video if you guys enjoyed. Put down in the comments, what have you learned on your real estate jobs or new jobs with clients that you guys would like me to know, or you want anyone else to know in the comments. And that's really about it, guys. My name is Jason Morrison. If you guys like videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And I'm out. Deuces.